G'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a bit quiet from me lately. It's early winter at the moment in Melbourne, so it's very hard to work on many trees. It's pretty much most of them gone to sleep, so I really avoid doing too much at the moment. I look at trees, prep trees, things like that, but nothing really too interesting. But I've done this. I've done this video before, but I thought I'd redo it again. For new people, it's my bonsai soil mix. Now I make my own mix. It's very, very simple, and it works for me. It works in my climate. It works in my how I water my trees. This is especially how I water my trees, mainly in summer, because I like to probably overwater in summer if that's possible. Well, I'm just very wary in summer of bonsais drying out. I'm not here to water them, things like that, and I've got a sprinkler system that waters them for me. So to aid that, I try and keep a very open mix in my soil. I do use a slight small organic component, but it's predominantly pumice. So I'll show you the components I use. It's two components. The first one is it's Oscaro orchid bark nuggets. They're minis. I think it's 3 to 5 mil. Somewhere on the bag, but I can't find it. It's a 50-litre bag. I just go through. I use one part of this orchid nuggets and 4 parts of pumice. Now I'll show you what it really looks like. So I might bring the camera in when I get a container. So I scoop out 1 container of orchid bark nuggets. I'll show you what that looks like. You can see the components are quite small, but there's not really too many fines. It's actually quite nice and open as well. Helps, gives me the organic component that I just need, because Melbourne can be very, very dry, and I want to avoid things drying out too much. And then pumice, I use what we can get really, and that's 1 mil to 7 mil pumice. Now I'll do 4 of these, and I'll show you that in a minute. And because I couldn't get 4 total ones out of that little bucket, I'm just going to do a little bit more to try and make it up to about 4. So I'm not totally perfectly accurate, but I'll show you what I mean. So this is pumice. So you can see how nice and open that is. It is a little bit fine in some areas. I prefer the bigger one, but it's hard to get now, the 4 to 7 mil. But 1 to 7 does its job, keeps it nice and open and good to go. So, and you see I've scooped out my orchid bark nuggets. So it's 1 to 4, and now pretty much put my gloves on and I mix. I like to sometimes do a bit of a flip as well. Now that's pretty much done. You might see some bits that are really mixed in well. And there you go. That's keeping the contents quite, what's the word, easy to manage. So pretty much mixed in really well. Bit organic matter with the bark, and a bit of nice stone or nice pumice in the mix. But you see, I just mixed up 1 batch. I didn't do too much, otherwise it'd be too heavy to too heavy to use and flip. And then I have one of these rubbish bins, I guess. Bins, nice. As long as it's good against the sun, doesn't rot in the sun. then you can use them. And then I'll just take this. That's the first batch done. So batch 1 done. And pretty much rinse and repeat, guys. Again, very straightforward. One part of this orchid bark, 4 parts of the pumice. I don't put in any. Some people like to add things extra to it. You can, but make sure it stays open. Make sure when you're doing it. Make sure I'll talk to you to make sure when you're doing it. If you're putting some sort of fertilizer in there, sometimes people put Osmocote or something like that, which is fine. Put that in there as well, but get some good quality stuff as well. Don't get the cheap stuff. But I thought a nice little short video at this time of year if you're in Australia. Start preparing your soil mixes if you want to do soil mixes. Again, mine's very straightforward. It's only 2 components and they're quite easy to get in Australia and inexpensive compared to, if you want to bring Akadama or anything like that in Australia to Australia. I mean, if you can get it, great. But this is quite reasonably priced. The orchid bark's not that expensive. You can get it from a lot of probably orchid clubs have it. That's not a bad place to start. And the pumice I get from Damien, who's part of the club. He's at Dirtbags. I think that he calls himself now Dirtbags, and look him up on Facebook and you should be able to get pumice. So there you go, just a quick short video on soil mixes. Get your mixes starting to prepare now. It's early winter, good time to start mixing up your soil, ready for the mid to late winter rush of repotting. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that quick video. See you guys soon.